OBGYN from Indore. Today we are having a very great celebrity and a very close young sister of mine, Dr. Priya Bahave Chitrwar from Bhopal. She is an expert reproductive medicine specialist, OBGYN, and very, very, very ambitious, intelligent, and very highly accomplished girl at the young age who has done so many things. And she has been known nowadays Iron Man baby maker of the India. She has accomplished this thing as Iron Man recently, and I'm really, really happy today to introduce her and to bring her here to give her insight regarding the subject. And she will be this conversation between me and Dr. Priya will be helpful for many in many dimensions, not only in making Iron Man, but many other things of the life. So welcome, Priya. I'm so proud and happy to have you today. So the first thing which I always ask you, first to introduce yourself in your words, that what Priya is and what Priya think about herself. So Priya, over to you.
Good morning, Kawita madam, and it is such a pleasure. It is like getting a trophy to be called here in the knockout series, which is super hit, which you have been doing. And really, if just like all of us, we identify ourselves as our profession. So if you ask me who is Priya, I feel that I am born to give the joy of parenthood to the couples who are there, and that is basically my identity. All these things, taking up endurance sport, doing an Ironman 70.3, all of this, I feel it is not a diversion for me, but it started as a way to improve myself as a better doctor and as a better person. So I am practicing in Bhopal. I am a reproductive medicine specialist. We work in one of the largest departments in central India, offering the reproductive medicine services, IVF, laparoscopic surgeries to the mainly the infertile couples. And we also have a teaching unit. We are running the fellowship course of FNB for reproductive medicine since last 5 years.
Correct. So let us start that you have just completed your Ironman this time, this last month. I think it's not even the last month. I want to ask you how you started it, how it came into your mind to do this. So we'll be happy to know about it.
See, like all the doctors and all the gynecologists, especially, the decade of 20s and 30s just goes by like this. You don't know where it has gone. You are doing your PG, then trying to get the new skills, trying to get more and more expertise, trying to set up a practice. Then you have your young children who are growing up, then parents are aging at the same time. So 20s and 30s, it just goes by. By the time you catch your breath, you are already 40. So it was my 40th birthday, and I was going for an outreach camp to Orcha. And on the way, I was just scrolling and I saw that Milind Soman had completed his Ironman. So that is what ignited that initial spark, that why not do something which is totally out of comfort zone? And is it possible for me? That was the question. I didn't want to do it at that time. I just wondered, is it possible for me to even contemplate something like that?
Correct. So would you like to share your presentation and how it has to be done, and what is the basic things which you have started, what challenges you faced, and how it came to how you reach up to this level? So we'll love to listen about it. So I'm allowing you to share your screen, and you just share your screen. So we can start.
So how it started is that, what attracted me towards Ironman was the tagline of the Ironman Corporation. And that is, anything is possible. So I asked myself, this is me. I was 15 kg overweight just on the way to a camp, and we had gone in the morning to visit all the temples of Orcha. I told my assistant that I am not going to walk much because later on we have many patients to see and I might get tired. And that moment, that thought struck me that, I am not even able to walk few kilometers in the morning. How about contemplating this ultra endurance event? So what I have done now is Ironman 70.3, but my ultimate aim is a Ironman 140.6. So Ironman 70.3 involves a swim of 1.9 kilometer, a bike of 90 kilometers, and a run of 21 kilometers. All this has to be done back to back without any gaps, and your entire time, even transition, is taken into account. There is a cutoff of 8 hours 30 minutes. Plus, there is an individual cutoff for every sport also. So believe me, Kavita madam, at that time, it was impossible for me. I was not able to run for 1 kilometer. Bike, I had not done the riding since I was in school. And swimming, I was mortally afraid of water. Even if I see water, I used to panic. So the first poster which somebody sent me on WhatsApp was this. It was triathlon knowledge. मैंने सोचा ट्रायथलॉन नॉलेज में 3 चीजें अपने को सीखनी पड़ेंगी, स्विम, बाइक और रन सीखना पड़ेगा. बट धीरे धीरे दिस इट वाज आई वाज 40 व्हेन आई got this on WhatsApp, and now today I am 45. And what I realized is it is not 3 things. It is multiple and multiple things. It is the nutrition. It is how your body recovers after a workout. It is your joints and tendons, whether they are able to take that much stress, what you are putting on it. Very important at our age, injury prevention, because we want to be fit enough to do our daily life things and plus progress in our training. And the biggest thing, what I understood is that in triathlon or in any sport, the mind will always lead the body. The body does not lead. The body will just follow what your mind says. That time, I had targeted that I will do it in 1 year's time, that is 2020. So this is January 2019. This was the New Year resolution for 2019. New Year resolution, we all set out to do good things. So I did not have a bike at that time. So there is a chartered bike service. So I took this chartered bike and I did my first ride. This was immediately after the New Year. And the same day I fell off the
I'm
bike.
just interrupting, Priya. Make it a full presentation. I think your both slides are there. So put a play button. So
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So in this ride, I had a big fall, and my husband actually laughed at me when I fell down. I was very upset, and then I said that, I have to do something. And what we do as gynecologists, whenever we have any emotional problem, is that we go out and spend and do some shopping. So what I did is I bought this road bike, very thin tires with the drops, so you have to ride in a bent position. And I started practicing biking on this road bike. 6 or 7 months into the practice, I decided that now it is time to undertake some big ride. And so on 25th of August, I did a 150-kilometer ride. Now this ride, I think, was the game changer in my life, because तब तक मैंने longest ride 30 kilometers करी थी. Some cyclists told me that, madam, if you are able to ride 30 kilometers, you can do any distance. I literally laughed at them. I went in the morning 5:30. I was very nervous, and it was raining cats and dogs on that day. It was a ride to Vidisha and back, and the road was totally broken. There was a lot of traffic, vehicular traffic. But as you can see, the clothes which I was wearing, on that it is written, just do it. So we were 6 people, and finally I was able to finish this bike ride without any accidents. But it took me a long time. It took me 9 hours and 11 minutes to do this entire ride. But I understood 2 or 3 things. One is that being on the bike for 9 hours, you get a lot of saddle sores. So you need to invest in some better bike specific clothing, not just wear any normal clothes. I understood that there are something called as gears in a cycle. I was absolutely unaware. I used to ride in one gear throughout. So slowly and slowly, I understood all these small things. And the biggest thing, the joy which I get from this is the community. Because the community, whether it is the cycling community or the running community, they are very positive people. They are people who are competing with themselves. And they are always trying to help others initiate into this endurance events. So all the cyclists, they were very helpful. They were taking care of me. And finally, you can imagine 3,500 calories I burnt, and I felt so happy that now at least I will lose some weight.
Extremely good. So 9 hours on the cycle with a good community. Am I right? And a fun.
Yes. Yeah. Lot of fun.
Yeah.
Then this kept on increasing, and as you can see in the riders, I am the only female. In the next 150-kilometer ride also, I was the only female. But all of the men, they will go out of the way to make you feel comfortable, make you feel safe, and give you tips, small tips, which can help you increase your, efficiency on the cycle.
Correct. So
and then
the lockdown came. Yeah, you continue.
And then came
really
lockdown.
Impressed that you started with a cycle and it worked for almost for 8 months or 6 months. You took
almost
150 kilometer. Because
Up
I
to
also
150 I
watching
took.
you, we talk so much time in the morning. We used to call each other. So I used to ask, but I never thought that you are doing something really, really, really outstanding. And I think 8 months you took to reach for 150 kilometer, or the early you did it this thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes,
all
yes,
with
yes.
the
I
gear,
think 6 to
everything.
7 months I took.
For 6 to 7 months, really. So
Right.
the time is also important.
Right.
The thing in the mind is important. The gear is important. Strength is important. And so many things. Really nice. I'm really impressed. And now the lockdown came. Now you continue. Sorry to disturb you in between. Yeah.
Now, in the lockdown, the problem was that so in the lockdown, there were no outdoor rides possible. Running was not possible.
Correct.
Plus our mental health, because collectively we had never experienced anything like this. And it seemed as if there is no end to this. Wave after wave, it kept on coming and going. So this is the time when I did invested in this called as the indoor trainer. Now, in
Correct.
indoor training, what happens is that it simulates exactly the outdoor training with the elevations, everything, and you can ride virtually with the group of people around the world. It is amazing. So in the real time, you can ride with other riders from all the countries. And in the lockdown, the people who were doing this virtual cycling, it just double, triple, 10 times. Everybody was on Zwift. So
Correct.
this helped me give me the strength in the cycling.
Correct.
And then, of course, the biggest game changer in the life is to get a
Good.
coach.
Yeah.
All
That's
these things,
correct.
we
Very
just
important.
cannot do it on our own.
Very important. Yeah.
So just like in medicine, while we are learning the surgery, we need somebody to hold our hands, to guide us. Similarly, in endurance sport, it is very important to have a coach who will tell you what is what. Because I'll tell you, after I started working with Chaitanya, whatever progress I had made in 1.5 years, it just accelerated.
Correct.
Within 2 or 3 months, I was making huge, huge progress
Correct.
in every way.
That's true. That's true. Because the hard work of 1.5 year also works. What I feel, it's not, we always feel that the coach is only doing, it's only you also, that the hard work of a 1.5 year, and then acceleration begins. It in every matter, I think, but the coach is very, very important. Yes. Yeah. Continue.
So then this time what happened is that what I also understood is triathlon is a very expensive sport.
Correct.
If you want to do the triathlon, you have to have the best of gear, because if you start at the age of 40, many
Correct.
advantages which young people have, you don't have.
Correct.
So you want to be mechanically at an advantage. And this is when I bought my first very expensive bike. And now with this bike, started doing the longer and longer rides, started doing the 200-kilometer rides.
Correct.
And you can see this is at the end of those rides, but the face is smiling, absolutely fresh. So this
Happy.
was I think, uh, not only the endurance, but also the equipment. Equipment is also very important.
Okay. Absolutely. The right gears, the equipments are very, very important. And the love for the equipment, which is seen in your photographs, that how much happy as a owner of that bicycle is more important, and completion is making you more happy than of that photograph. Yeah.
Absolutely. And this bike is a full carbon bike.
Yeah.
As women, we are fond of carbon, so some buy carbon in diamond form,
Yeah,
some
exactly. I
in
was
the
going
form
to
of a
tell, these
bike.
are
But
the
I think
diamonds. These are the
these
diamonds
are the
for us.
diamonds.
Like equipments which we have in a surgery, same as this equipment is a diamond for you. I agree with you. Yeah. Correct.
But the next problem was the running, because
Right.
not having run ever in my life,
Mhm.
running is a sport which is very hard on your cardiovascular system, musculoskeletal system, on your joints. Plus, it's a difficult sport mentally, because in cycle, what happens? You get a mechanical advantage because of the gears. The cycle is also helping you move forward. In running, it's only your legs.
Yes.
So I think the one discipline which I worked really hard is the running. In running, what used to happen is I was actually trying to run since 2015, but I would reach 4 or 5 kilometers, then get some injury, then again fall back. So I was never able to cross that limit. But
Yes.
as I said, after I got a coach, finally in February 2019, I did my first 21 kilometers. This I did in Pondicherry.
Absolutely great.
And I can't tell you, after 10 kilometers, it was agony. It was really agony. I was not, my back, there was a spasm. My left knee started paining so much so that at 20 kilometer, I gave up. I said, I can't move for 1 kilometer. Then luckily one person came, he said, I will walk with you. He sacrificed his own race. He started diverting me by talking, and finally we crossed the finish line together.
I just kind of interrupting you and asking you a simple question. When running for 20 kilometers means it's a big timing. I think it's almost 3 hours and 11. What things come in our
Yeah,
mind when we run? We run. What actually we think? Well, I'm just asking you if will somebody tell me to run somewhere. So the number one thing is that I have to finish. That's definitely one thing. But how long we can talk about that? How thing? So during 3 hours, what the or everything goes off out of the mind and just running. What actually happens?
see what to think during running. I think it is very, very important, because initially when your body cannot keep up, you are just thinking, oh, now my back is paining, now my knee is giving trouble. Then you start thinking of others, that she's overtaking me, that person is overtaking me, everybody is overtaking me.
Mm.
But in running, there comes a time after maybe around 7 to 8 kilometers for me, where actually you are oblivious to your body.
Mm.
You are just running with yourself. And that, I think, is the joy of running, which people, they are addicted to running. Why? Because of this zen like feeling which comes after some time.
Meditation.
But see, definitely, you spend lot of time alone in endurance sport, and you actually learn lot about yourself. Because
Absolutely.
when you are in physical pain and you are still continuing, many thoughts come up, your past comes up, your traumas come up, your unfulfilled dreams, they come up, so many things come up. And I feel this is a time to process everything, and at the end of the run you may find many, many answers about yourself also.
Absolutely. Because it's a different type of meditation, you can say, or it's a different type of Zen feeling. Uh,
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. It's a different way of putting things, I think. Okay. So you did it in a 3 hours and 11 minutes, am I right? During
Yes,
this time.
yes.
That's amazing.
But
Really.
after this, I joined my coach, and then he really worked on my running. And finally, in the next year, that is 1 year after this, I won the podium in the SBI Greenathon. First time I won a prize for running, 9,900 rupees.
Amazing, amazing.
Otherwise,
And I'm so happy to know about it that there is no history of active sports, or you can say as a sportsman, you were into your childhood. Am I right? Can you tell me about that?
never,
Never,
never, never. I used to
never.
find every excuse to miss the PT period,
पढ़ाई
every
करते रहना.
excuse to
Yeah.
not do any physical activity.
Or the sports, or the serious sports,
Yes,
like a kids do. Like
absolutely.
the serious sports not being done and doing the Iron Man is
Never.
really amazing. It's a really thought process, and how your work, you miraculous is a different thing, but I think you manifested it that I am going to do it like that. Really, it's really amazing. Yeah. So you did it enough, and it's good to feel to stand on a podium, I think. Yeah,
And
amazing.
there was a big difference in the performance. You can see I finished it in 2 hours,
Correct,
25 minutes.
correct.
Lot
Almost,
of difference in the pace, very
almost.
good heart rate.
Yeah, that's good,
So
really.
this small,
As
small
a
progressions.
OBGYN, will you like to talk about something about the heart rate, why the heart rate should not go or something? Because I think your heart rate was quite
Very high.
within normal limits. Not normal limits, but say it's within control, what I feel about.
So actually doing this endurance sport is also lesson about learning about our own physiology.
Correct.
Earlier when I used to run aimlessly, but then I realized that there are zones of heart rate. A particular run is to be done at a particular heart rate. Then there are some interval runs, there are some long runs. So understanding this physiology and using it to the advantage actually brings out the performance. So definitely muscular endurance, your mind is important, but knowledge of this cardiovascular physiology also is very, very
Very,
important,
very important.
because this is a long term activity. You're going to be at it for 7, 8 hours also.
Correct. Correct. So how? It's really
So,
good.
and
The
then
swimming.
this is very important, the last,
Correct.
the
Correct. So
first discipline, but
all
which
three
was my
events,
weakest.
the cycling, the running, and now the swimming. Yeah.
And so this is me swimming. This is because of lockdown, we could not swim at all.
Correct.
And because I couldn't swim at all till I think 2021 end. And finally, when we decided that now we are going to do Ironman Kazakhstan, we had actually booked this for 2020, but because of COVID, it kept on getting postponed.
Correct.
And my target of Ironman was 2020, but finally it shifted to 2022. But this is me in April 2022 when the pools had finally opened. and you can see I'm not able to breathe inside water.
Correct.
And I was dreaming of doing a half Ironman distance in August. Plus, the biggest problem was that I could not get over that fear of the deep water. I learned the swimming, lot of YouTube videos, lot of coaches, lot of time spent in water. But the moment I will go to the deep end of the pool, something will happen and I will stand up or I'll start panicking.
Correct.
And then one thing I decided that, it may be that I may not be able to do this event, but शरीर को रोज पानी लगना चाहिए. I decided in June that before I go for the Ironman competition, at least 200 times I will go in the pool. Now, this meant that in 3 months, many times I have to do it twice a day. But I had decided that 200 times I will go in water. Even if it is for 20 minutes, even if it is just to dip my toe and come out, but I will go 200.
Correct. Amazing.
Then what happened is that because of this fear of deep water, I started working with a coach. She is a hypnotherapist.
Okay.
She gave me some hypnosis videos, which I will play to myself, because this fear is at the subconscious level. Consciously, logically, nothing will happen. You are going to swim on the surface.
Correct.
It doesn't matter whether the water is 20 feet deep or 200 feet deep.
Correct.
It is the same to you because you are going to be on the surface. But how to send this message to the subconscious? So that is where I think self hypnosis helped me so much. Also, self hypnosis helped me in the recovery, because what used to happen is other athletes, they will train in the morning, they will go and sleep in the afternoon.
Correct.
For me, I have to train, I have to perform at work, then again come back, do the cases at night also many times. So I needed some concentrated recovery, and that those hypnosis tracks will just make me fresh in 10-15 minutes, and I'll be as if I have slept for the whole night. So finally, slowly, I started going in the deep water. I learned the proper swimming in the pool. But the problem is that you can't swim in a pool in Ironman. It has to be the open water.
Correct. Absolutely.
And this, I think, is a very big fear all of us Indians have. We have numerous water bodies, but since childhood, we never actually go inside the water body except in a boat.
True.
So this is where my, again, coach comes in. He helped me. I took a flight to Pune, and then he used to take me to this dam. And in this dam, he will always accompany me in a boat, and he will always be within my sight. So, although I am swimming alone, I know that he is there around me. So, I would keep on swimming. And slowly, I was able to swim around 1.9 kilometer non-stop, although not with a very good pace, but at least I knew that I will be able to finish it, hopefully. Now, this is the story about the 3 disciplines. Now comes getting to the start line. That means actually reaching the event, that is the Ironman Kazakhstan in August. Now, getting to the start line in anything, suppose you have decided that, like, you are contesting for president. People think that this process of contesting is difficult. No, that decision to contest, that is also very difficult.
Correct.
And that, I think, is half of the battle, because you will have 100 reasons, 100 problems which will prevent you from getting there. But getting to the start line is as much a achievement as getting to the finish line.
Correct. Correct. So
a lot of last minute issues came up.
I think it's not only the game. I'm so happy to know about the hypnotherapist also. That also worked you. The fear factor, that which has been gone, the right trainer, the right equipments, and right things. Now you have reached and taken the decision of going to Kazakhstan. We will love to listen about it and how you made it. That's also very important. So again, over to you, Priya. Really impressed by knowing all the factors. I just like that point that going 200 times to the swimming pool or the touching the water. It's a determination, and it's a sheer determination, and you have decided it to do it. So you did it. So really, I'm really happy, and having this type of things too. I think everybody will love to know about it. Now over to you for Kazakhstan. Yeah.
Now, Kazakhstan is a beautiful country and they have a direct flight from Delhi. But last minute, there were many athletes who were coming to Kazakhstan. So Air Astana, they said that we will not carry your bike bags. Now, if you can't come with your bike to the race, you can't race. So finally, we again booked a different flight, very expensive, and this was a business class flight because the luggage allowance has to be more to carry that big bike. So you can imagine business class
So
tickets, very expensive.
finance is also very, very important when we talk about this type.
Very important, very
So
important.
this factor we
And
should also consider all the time. Am I right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we arrived in Kazakhstan just 2 days before the race because of this ticket hassle. And to my utter dismay, when we were unpacking the bike, I found that this critical part of the bike, the rear axle through which the tire will actually go in the bike, is misplaced. So the person has packed another rear axle which is not fitting. So there I am in Kazakhstan, totally non-English speaking country with a trek bike. There is no agency in Kazakhstan for trek, and I don't have a rear axle and I don't have a bike.
Correct. You mean all the preparations are there of swimming, running, and cycling, but these preparations are also very, very important. कौन सी चीज, when it will reach, how you should be prepared, what are the logistics? Really, I am impressed.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then my coach, who was actually also racing, he just said one thing to me. He said, Priya, I got this. Now I used to wonder how did he get this, because it is not possible. It is a new country. He knows nobody there. So
Okay.
how is he going to manage? But you can see he found a bike shop. That bike shop person had a friend in another place. He sent his axle. We were not able to buy it. He just loaned it to us. And finally, I was able to race.
You need people around you with you. Those are, I think, resourceful. Am I right? He was resourceful at
Absolutely.
that time. Yeah. So,
And you always need people who have your back. Just those 3 words, Priya, I got this. It was just everything to me. Just everything.
correct. So,
And finally, I did the race. I finished the swim in the cutoff time. That country is like a dream. It's a beautiful country.
yeah.
Lot of oil money is there, beautiful buildings. So it was like a dream that you are actually getting to race there. We finished the bike, started the run very strong, and I think 3-4 kilometers into the run, I suddenly felt that there is something wrong, because there was an Indian next to me, and on his watch it showed that he had covered 6 or 7 kilometers and I was only 1 kilometer into the race.
Correct.
So then he said that already hamara 5-6 kilometer ho gaya, and then he went away. I understood I have made some mistake in the route, but I could not understand what. So I kept on running. All the volunteers, they did not know English. There was no race official on the entire track. Everybody, I kept on asking, can you open the app? Can you see whether I'm disqualified? There is something wrong. And throughout, I did not get any help from anybody. I understood that I have made a mistake and probably I will not be able to complete the race and maybe I may be disqualified. So finally, I reached a group of Indian people who were relatives of those who were contesting, and they said that no, in the app that you are showing that you have completed the route. You please go ahead to the finish line. I crossed the finish line, but that nagging feeling was there that something is amiss. I have left few kilometers. And finally, when I saw, I had actually left a 5 kilometer loop on the run track.
Oh my God.
And it was so disappointing because everyone in my team, in my coach's team, everybody had finished. I had not finished, in the sense that I had finished officially, because officially I was given a finisher medal. Officially, my timing is there, but I was very, very disappointed, very devastated, and extremely shattered on that day. Madam, you are muted.
Sorry. So I'm asking, it was a bad luck or a disappointment, or what the lesson learned from this? It's the two things which I feel about.
Lesson was that, it is very important to keep your presence of mind even when you are tired and fully done.
Correct.
And never to take anything lightly. I was only bothered about swimming. I thought
Correct.
run I can easily do. I thought bike I can easily do.
Correct.
So never we should take anything lightly, because anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Correct. But the lesson learned is very, very important. The presence of mind is there. Am I right? And
Absolutely.
it should also be just like a muscle. It should also be a trained thing, I think. Presence of mind should
Absolutely,
also be.
totally.
Okay. Then we have 5 more minutes, Priya. So you continue
Yes.
with it. Yeah.
So after Kazakhstan, only 3 options: stop doing the triathlon, or do a full Ironman, double the race, or logical option was work on those mistakes which I have done. That is the bike packing, small things which I can takes mainly the mental training, how to take the right decisions in the time of stress, how to, even when you are physically tired, how to do it better. So I
Yeah.
decided to sign up for the Goa race. But the problem is again that the flight to Pune, it was stopped. I couldn't do the open water races. So then I decided, I had a little fear of the upper lake, because once I went with my coach and I almost drowned in that lake. But I tried to overcome that, and we finally started swimming in the upper lake. This gave me very good confidence, because it is like open water anywhere else. And finally, we did the Goa race. Goa
Correct.
also, there were some issues here and there, but because it was home turf, because I had done my mental preparation, the presence of mind, all of this, I worked on it. And finally, I could cross the finish line within the cutoff time.
So great. Amazing. 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 So these are again the things.
So just
Correct. We both believe in a golden circle.
while this Right. So
Yeah.
while it started with a journey of selfish, I want to lose weight, eventually I decided that I am doing this because I want to become a good doctor. I am not doing this because I want to, lose weight or become stronger. I want this because I want to have that endurance. I want to have that strength which I preach that my patients should have.
Correct.
So in the end, I mean, if you have any questions which you want to ask me, or which you think it will um, help others, those who are listening, I would love to take them.
Correct. So nice. But the way it is, we will do it in a way. But I'm so happy that whenever you did it in a manner, you also looked after your family, you looked after the work, and you overcome the fatigue and all those things. I think Sachin is happy standing with you, and you will like to give your credits, most of the credits to your family. I think we will like to learn and listen from you.
Absolutely, because I have been absent for long durations of time. One thing which I decided is that I will never sacrifice my work. In 2019, I decided that when I finish my Ironman race, my work should be double of what it is now. So
Amazing.
without compromising work, ultimately it is the family who compromises.
Yeah.
And of course, large thanks to the community, all the people who train with me, all the people who boosted my morale, because the triathlon community is just amazing. There's no other community like the triathlon community.
Correct. Oh my God, so nice. Nice photograph with the baby, which you are making this thing. So I think we can conclude in a banner, but before that, I'll just congratulate for what you did and really what next. Really, I'm so happy that you have put the photograph of your mom. I think most of the credit goes to her, how she brought up
Yes.
you and how things are being done. And I think she is the most important motivational pillar you have. So what is the
Absolutely.
next which in your mind? While I know the development of confidence, development of deliberate practice, similar like a surgeon we made, I always talk about. So how the competence has been done, how we become a novice to the expert. Similarly, you did the same in the unconscious competence to conscious competence to unconscious competence we do. So it's a really learned in the hard work, and so many skills are involved into it. But we would like to know what next, what in your mind once we finished one target, again we have the next target in our mind. So what's next in your mind, Priya?
So next is a full Ironman race. This is an Ironman 70.3. I want to do double the distance. Plus, what happens, racing exposes many of your weak points. Every race gives you insight as to what you can build upon. And as I always say, any skill requires 10 years to perfect, be it surgery, be it medicine. So I am halfway into this journey. I won't say that I will ever perfect this, but I think 5 more years before I can be actually a little bit better at this journey of endurance.
It's a similar. The moment you stop working on that subjects, same
Yes.
like athletes, same like singers, same like pilot trainers, same like surgeons. It will
Yes.
stop it. So
Absolutely.
you are, I think you will mentor also along with it. This thing
Yes.
that will also, like we in a surgery, we talk about show one, do one, and like same with this,
Teach one.
the mentoring will also help you while doing
Yes.
all those things. I think this will be good. And finishing in a 10 years in a life, next 7-8 years you need, I think, more for finishing what in your mind. I'm really happy to have you today. All the best for anything which you have decided. And you are one of the what they say, person in my heart that I should learn many more things from you. So again, congratulations to you, and thank you so much for being with me in my series of Knockout. Thank you so much.
It is totally my pleasure and all the best, because at every time, whenever we meet, you always have that gift of igniting. There are some people who will just ignite enthusiasm in you. And I think the commodity that is most deficient for all of us is enthusiasm. We need Josh in our life. And you are like that injection of Josh. So thank you so much. And just love talking to you.
Love you. We can continue talking for like a longer time, but that interview is like the time has gone. So love you always. Be with me and be in my life, and all the best, whatever future endures you are thinking and doing. And be with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.